was such an amazing day, and RunRichRun had two corporate sponsors, Lowe's and Zebra Technologies, which was all over our race on race day to get as many metrics as possible. And they also, the best metric is they gave a nice chunk of change to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And here to talk about all the metrics that were acquired that day by all 17 runners, 8 donors, 8 NFL legends, and yours truly, is the Vice President of Zebra Sports for Zebra Technologies, John Pollard. Nice to chat with you, John.
Hey, Rich, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Appreciate it. So, what did your numbers glean based on what you saw on that day, John? Walk me through what jumps out at you. I assume many numbers come across your eye gate, to use a Michael Irvin phrase.
Well, there certainly was a lot of storylines that came from the tracking data that our system collected. And Rich, as your audience probably knows, that when they see the next-gen stats data during broadcasts, or if they visit NFL.com, we're the Zebra Technologies is the enabling technology that's collecting all the data, the tags and the shoulder pads, and the receivers around the stadium are picking up information. And, of course, during your RunRichRun event, we were able to pick up really interesting storylines for not only yourself and your run attempts, but also all the participants as well.
Now, so before you dive into that, those are the black, they looked like checkerboard pieces, to be honest with you, just the size of that, right? It's about the size of a quarter. It was about, a quarter of an inch thick, and it was it was taped on each one of our shoulders. For the run.
Right. There's one on each shoulder, and they're actually a U.S. nickel is the diameter of that
U.S.
tag.
nickel. Okay, and these are on you. How many players do you put this equipment on every week in the NFL, John?
Every single player in the NFL, both on the sidelines and in the game themselves, are wearing those tags.
No kidding.
And we're collecting data. There's also a tag in the football as well that we engineered, and it's collecting velocity and rotational and height information as well.
Interesting. What's the PSI around that tag, John?
The tag does not have the capability to identify pounds.
Okay. Okay.
Good question, though, Rick.
No, you know what, John? I just, I've got some history with that subject matter, talking about it. Okay, so I want to get back to that in a second. Put a pin on the football. So we were all wearing it. I know that. And so what numbers jump out at you from the run?
What was interesting, Rich? Let's talk about your two runs, if we may.
Go for it.
Because we're tracking not only the speed, we track total distance with our tags as well. Mm-hmm. And interestingly enough, during the run, your fastest run. We all think, when you think 40-yard dash, that everybody's running in an extreme linear fashion, right? Oh, I'm going to run 40 yards. Well, actually, in your first run, you ran 40.7 yards.
What do you mean?
Because there's a little bit of variance to the right and left as you're running from the start line to the finish line. You're moving from right to left. So you talk about the efficiency, and that's actually a stat for running backs in the NFL using next-gen stats, is run efficiency. How much distance a runner travels to travel 1 yard.
Right.
For your entire first run, you ran 40.7 yards total, and, of course, you had a 6.03 40 time on your first run. Our tags also were able to identify where you met your top speed during that run. So you actually reached your top speed at the 30.1 yard line.
Is that good? What does that tell you? Because it says it seems to me that if I ran 40.7 yards, mm-hmm. that means I didn't have too much wobble. Did I? Going from side to side?
It was very straight, extremely straight. It was an excellent, efficient run.
Thank you, John.
Your second run was a little less efficient, and you also logged a higher 40 time.
So there you go. So
right.
how did John Pollard, Vice President of Zebra Sports here on the Rich Eisen Show, how did my distance traveled, if you will, compared to the NFL legends?
Let's talk about the explosive capabilities. And Rich, I got to say, you ran a pretty explosive 40 for someone running in a suit and tie. So
okay.
It's pretty good. But for comparison, let's use the other extreme.
Okay.
Michael Vick, who we all know now, that ran a 4.72 40-yard time.
Yes, John.
He actually reached a top speed of 20.85 miles an hour.
That's unbelievable.
And his top speed, where he reached his top speed, and this is where we really enjoy what our technology provides, not only us as fans and media, right, but the teams themselves are using this information to help develop and train their players and research their players and game plans. But Michael Vick reached his top speed at the 21.07 yard line. So when we think about how explosive and quick that we see with our eye as we watch Michael play, he also still at 40 years old was able to communicate that during the 40-yard dash attempt. He was the fastest in terms of the quickest person getting to his top speed at 20.07 was the yard line where he reached his top speed. The other person, though, what was really amazing to me was Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis was second in reaching his top speed at the which was incredible. He stayed in. He wouldn't get to his friend zone almost as quick as Michael Vick.
So because he was the second in terms of miles per hour. He almost got to 19 miles an hour, and Vic was the only one who topped 20 miles an hour. Okay, and then I could have gotten ticketed in the 15-mile-an-hour zone. So is it better to top off at your speed midway through the run like Vic did, or to get it at the 30-yard line like I did? What's your?
That's a great question, because actually your run, your fastest time.
Yes.
Even though you reached this is interesting. Your slowest 40 time,
yes,
you actually reached a higher miles per hour.
What the hell?
During the run.
So my issue was what? So then why did I run a slower one based on your statistics? Was it my start? Was it the fact that I was zigzagging all over the place? What happened?
Right. You stayed in an accelerated, your top acceleration zone.
Yeah.
You stayed longer in your first run. So even though you peaked on your peaked at a certain point, you stayed longer in the acceleration zone during the first effort. During your second effort as well, you seem to slow down a little bit before the finish line, where you stayed primarily in your acceleration zone as close to the finish line as possible during the first run. So you ran your time in that zone.
Yes.
Allowed you to get a better time. And so think about this. We're talking about a 40-yard dash, but imagine, if you're scouting and evaluating players, we talked about linear path and efficiency in running. We talk about how long someone stays in their acceleration zone. We can also identify how fast someone gets from a starting point, like a wide receiver, into their fastest zone. And all this information is now available to teams in the NFL as they research and evaluate their players.
Interesting. So are you going to pass my information on to the National Football League, John? Let's be honest. You're going to pass that on?
Well, let's talk about that for a second, Rich. When we looked at your miles per hour,
yes,
we noticed that your fastest time would have put you the 19th fastest recorded speed amongst offensive linemen tracked in the NFL in 2020. Your slower time, which was still pretty good, would have put you in the 22nd fastest recorded speed amongst offensive linemen in 2020. So, Rich, for an offensive line, you might want to put a few more pounds on. But look, your speed gets you in an offensive line group. You might consider that.
So are you saying that me, as a 51-year-old man running in a suit, was faster at my top speed than all but 19 National Football League offensive linemen's top speed from the 2020 National Football League regular season? Is that what you're telling me right now?
I am telling you that. Correct. Wow. And just for context, the fastest offensive lineman tracked in 2020 was Trent Williams. He recorded an 18.08 miles per hour speed.
Right.
And it was a play where his quarterback got sacked, fumbled, and the defender was running the ball back for a defensive touchdown. And he was in chase, and so that's when he recorded his top speed.
That's just amazing. Oh, man. Before I let you go, John Pollard, VP of Zebra Sports here on the Rich Eisen Show, and Zebra Technology is a partner of RunRichRun and so generous with their time and obviously their technology on the run day. You mentioned that there is something of what do you call it? It's not a chip. What do you call it inside the ball? What is that again?
It's an RFID tag, so radio frequency identification technology, and it's a tag inside the football. Okay,
tag inside the football that you are putting inside. All footballs have a tag inside of it. When it's being spun in the National Football League, there's a tag inside inside the Duke from Zebra Sports. Do you have the capability of telling anybody, say in a Zebra shirt, whether a first down has been gained or a touchdown line has been broached due to the technology? Is that possible?
Technically, it is possible. We have tags not only in the players and the ball, but we have tags in the referees. I want to mention that. All that information goes back to the league office, and they use that for research and analysis. But we have tags in the pylons in the end zone and also the first down markers and yardage markers on the side. So this is all up to the NFL on how they utilize the information. But from a technical perspective, the accuracy and the precision of our technology is sub a couple of inches in location. So someday in the future, you certainly could use our technology and other capabilities to help provide more efficiency in running the game, and perhaps also help the referee crew augment what they do on the field in terms of placing the ball for first down marks or when the ball crosses the goal line. It's technically feasible.
Yeah, how about right now? Or you're just like literally right now, if the NFL decided, let's just do it. Can it be done right now? Or you and Zebra are not, if you could speak for it, like comfortable that it's accurate enough just yet? What do you think?
We're comfortable where the technology could take us. It's
Okay.
I'm being judicious on purpose.
Of course.
We're a partner of the league, and we have to. The league has to be very pragmatic when introducing new technologies and capabilities and
Right.
information sources, not just ours, right? And so, technically, we'd love to continue to explore that with the league if that's part of their agenda. But we help enterprise companies around the world, retail environments, warehouses, identify things in these large environments. So we believe that our technology can help provide that opportunity in football, American football, as well as other sports. So, yeah, we're ready to try that if whenever the league is ready to try it.
Well, you're more accurate than an index card, aren't you, John? Right? I mean, at the very least.
I'd like to think so. About the R&D and investment that we and the trust that our clients put in us. So, yeah,
Okay.
I think we're a little bit more accurate than
All right,
an index card, Rich.
Last one for you. I got about a minute left. Why are you putting this technology on a ref to see how fast they're running? Is that really what you're doing?
Well, actually, I think with how the information is, and I'm not privy to the meetings that are held in the football ops group in New York, but that information can help identify when a penalty is called, where the location of the official is. Are they in the right place at the right time? And they can assess and research that, and then grade out their crews. So I'm assuming that's how the league is using it. They can associate when a play is called or during a certain type of moment during a game. Is everybody in position, in the right position throughout the game?
John, thanks for your partnership. I hope this continues for many years to come. Thank you for the call, and for everyone.
As do I, Rich. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. That's John Pollard, VP of Sports at Zebra Technologies. They could not have been greater partners. That was so much fun. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.